Welcome everyone to Loud and Proud Orlando. Thank you so much for being live with us. We're live May the 22nd, 8:37 p.m. Thank you so much. Exciting weekend. We won the Derby. Florida still purple, right? Woo, woo. Right. I want to give kudos to the ILF. I think you know the way of the support was displayed. It was definitely very motivating for not only for the players but also for everyone that traveled to Fort Lauderdale. I think you know no speakers stopped the chants from the wall. The wall pretty much was in South Florida, and so I do want to give kudos to to the people from the ILF and fantastic tailgate too. I mean, with Kayla and everyone there. It was good to meet some of the people that watch the show or new viewers also, right? So thank you so much for your support. But definitely 3 points that are gunshots around the world, with Oscar being chosen as the manager of the match day for the MLS, right? As well as you have Erjan Kara in the team of the week. So a lot of things to talk about. The production of our strikers is actually improving tremendously, with this new Urgent Karamania in Orlando. And then we have, I think, a tough opponent coming up with a very good, compact squad with a lot of good. We're going to analyze Atlanta today and see how can we beat Atlanta United, right? A must-win game in Orlando, right in at Explorer Stadium with the wall. I encourage everybody to go and support the team. Uh, it has to be a packed stadium, right? And I think the players are going to come out hopefully on top. We're going to analyze. I want to give a little bit of news. Luis Araujo from Atlanta United won't be playing against Orlando. He had a red card in the last game against Chicago. The soon to be apparently player from Flamengo, one of the best players in the squad, is not going to be playing against Orlando City. So that's definitely good news. But they still have Thiago Almada and other pieces that definitely we're going to discuss today. Paola, welcome back. I know you travel far too. I know it was great to see you there, and Alec and everyone there. How you been?
Yes. Happy Monday as always. Today I'm feeling more energized since it was my first away game and we won 3-1. So I don't know if I'm the lucky. I'm confused. I don't know what is my status with this club, but I think I need to go more away games and see what's the status. But I'm very very happy for the squad. Great performance and happy to be here as
What's up?
usual.
Yeah. What's up, John? How you doing, my friend?
Good, yeah, very happy. I had a very enjoyable Saturday night watching us beat Miami, and then ever since then, the world of Twitter has just been getting better and better. It's just like the never-ending joy of everything happening after that game. It's great. Everybody's like the trolling of the Inter Miami fans. Love that. Love everything about the speakers. All of this stuff. Now Phil Neville's having a meltdown. I'm all about it. Like this is great. So that win is like the gift that keeps on giving, and I'm enjoying it. It's been a great couple of days.
I brought this just in case. There you go. But no, honestly, yeah, I mean, winning the Derby unites people, right? So I think that's fantastic. I'm just very happy that it was a massive win. A lot of the players were very excited about how Orlando played. Oscar definitely, I think he made the right substitutions. We'll discuss that. There's definitely lots of things to improve. I mean, Atlanta is a different beast. There's still, some things that we need to analyze. We lack in the left back position still, despite Rafael Santos scoring. I think we still lack in the left back depth against a team that has a lot of depth in that position too. We'll talk about Caleb Wiley, Atlanta United, very good player, worth $4 million already. That kid. But let's dive into Orlando City, how they came in. with a right here a 4-2-3-1 system, right? We're talking about Rafael Santos start. I didn't have Rafael Santos scoring, but I'm so happy for him.
By the way, this was the first mistake of the Apple TV coverage of the day, if you can spot it.
Yeah, Cartagena. What
Yeah.
what's up with that? So
Yeah. This was bad. Yeah, Gonzalez should have been where Cartagena is. Yeah. So, Kyle Smith, solid, but still not enough speed. I think it was a great game by Ivan Angulo. And then Gaston Gonzalez. Hopefully, he's good. Uh, the club has not pronounced of his status just yet, but I saw it, and it looks like it's a hamstring.
yep.
And I will say at least 2 or 3 weeks, man. I mean, that's just my opinion. I am no doctor, but I've seen those type of injuries happen. Uh, but I think he's gonna come back stronger, right? It just sucks that he just was now getting some minutes, some wear and thread in his legs, and this occurred. Um, John, for you, what were your stronger points in this lineup against Miami?
I mean, it's got to be Urchin Kara, right? I
Yeah.
mean, Urchin Kara and Facu Torres. I think those two are learning how to play with each other. I was really impressed with Facu in this game. I think he's developing into that 10 role more and more every game, and he's learning more and more about where Angulo is going to be and where Ojeda is going to be and where Kara is going to be, and he's really linking that play from the midfield into the attack. He's such a integral part of what we're doing now in that 10 role. And then Kara, I mean, he in the first half he had a couple flicks where he tried like a back heel and it wasn't really going right for him. And then in the second half, he just sort of looked up for that pass that came to him, and he saw Ojeda making the run, and he just makes that perfect flick off to him, sets Ojeda up with the perfect ball to run on and score. So I feel like he's developing every game and learning as well, in the sense that he's changing his game slightly to adjust to the team, right? And the team is also doing that the other way, right? So we're trying to adjust the way that we're playing to get more chances for Kara by like crosses in the box or playing more a way that brings him into the game. And I think that really clicked in this one. And it showed how those two in particular are really starting to link up and understand each other. And that's so integral to this formation. So that was a real plus. And also the long throw, which I will happily eat my words on, that finally worked, even though I was calling for it because I was like, it did not work up until that point. But that was a classic long throw header goal, which you love to see. You don't see very often.
Yeah, and then I will say this: what having Mauricio come in the second half, well rested. I mean, he kind of in a way he came on fire. He was eating the field, like he came re-energized. He was making good plays. He was linking up, and that's how the third goal came about too. So, I mean, that's exactly what we need. And that's where Facundo Torres excelled in Peñarol, was playing that 10 position. I know his dad's probably going to be happy him playing that position, because when he was here in Florida, he kept saying, hey, he should play the 10. Maybe we should try and play the 10. Every time we'll spot him down in the elevators, right? Or when press was going down the press room, sometimes his dad will hang out around that area, and sometimes he'll spot us and talk to us. And he'll say, hey, he should play the 10. I don't know why, but finally he's getting to play the 10. And, I think he's becoming a very important playmaker. For you, Paola, what were your strong points out of this game against Miami?
I mean, the defensive lineup, I mean, Smith and Santos, yes, they're a little bit choppy. I'm not going to lie. I was rewatching the game, but Smith had a pretty too solid clearance from Campana that I didn't notice at the game, because when they were defending in the other side, I was one of the extreme opposite sideline, so I couldn't see it. So I rewatched the game, and Smith, even though he's slow, he had a great game and he shut me up because I was criticizing him. I like Smith coming from the bench instead of starting because he tends to be slower and slower at 75 minutes in. So, but he had a solid game. Santo had a pretty good clearances as well. Um, but sometimes Santos was beside Jansen. I don't know why. Like he was giving that space between the left flank and Miami. So I was like, I was so confused. But then I saw Campana that he was trying to help Jansen and see, but I didn't like those spaces. Kara is on fire. I don't want him. I want him to keep his momentum. I like Facu on the 10, like you said, Luis, because this is his natural position, and we were out of wingers last season, and now we have more wingers. So I like Pereira from starting from the bench as well, and Duncan made an immediate impact, and this is why we love so much Duncan. He has already how many assists with this last one? And Santos, that was the second shot of Santos because he tried it a couple of minutes before and he missed by an inch. And then he did it again and he scored. So pretty solid. Jansen and Antonio Carlos were on point with Campana and Martinez. So great performance. This is the performance that we were waiting for since the beginning of the season. So there's a couple of things that we are missing because when I was rewatching the game an hour ago, we're keeping missing those key passes that probably are coming with more goals. But great performance. I love what I'm seeing going forward. So I hope the team keeps this up.
Yeah, we're not gonna go and said, yeah, we're Liverpool, right? Or we're, or hey, yeah, yeah, we're gonna win everything. No, I mean, we wish, but reality strikes, and yeah, I mean, we still a short squad. We still have a lot of things to improve. But I do want to say that defensively, both our center backs performed amazingly, and you did not notice that Joseph Martinez was playing in this game. He was red hot before this game. Well, it was being an intricate part of their attack. With Campana play a little bit more forward. In this game, Campana was playing a little bit more behind, and he was non-existent. I mean, you're talking about, I would say an 8 out of 10 game for Robin Jansen. And something had to give, right? And I think that's when the Campana goal struck. And I'm going to say this, when he scored the tie, I'm like, oh, crap. I was like, you know what? Because it was such a great goal. I'm going to be completely honest. We'll read your comments in just a moment. I was just like, oh, man, they're not going to come out of it. I don't know if they'll come back out of this mentally. I mean, we're in South Florida.
And he was in our side.
Yeah. And so I was just like, you know what? Let's hope for the best, right? And then the reaction was to keep pushing. And I'm going to go ahead and give kudos to Mark Thor, because he took this picture here. And this is what I'm talking about. Like something changed in the locker room. And that is what I'm saying about the support of the fans. This is what it does. Yeah. It sparks Antonio Carlos to take the leadership and try to motivate his teammates that were down. Look at Wilder's face. And you know why his face was like that? Because he felt guilty that it was pretty much he was covering that shot and he couldn't, he kind of covered it. Campana did a 1-2, like he tried to, I think he tricked them a little bit on the 1v1 very well, very tactically, Campana. And he kind of was caught off guard and couldn't know how to defend that shot. And so, he was just motivating his teammates. And then, I mean, it was a complete 360 after that. And they ended up winning. They had a great game, all of them after that. Do you felt the same way, John, about the change of attitude, at least? Of the reaction, the reaction.
I mean, I think the first half, like I said, Miami had 0 XG. So
Yeah.
in the first, like they literally did nothing in the first half, right? And we got our 1 goal. So it was important when we came out in the second half that we continued that momentum, right? We've seen so many games recently where it's like one good half of play and one bad half of play. So we wanted to come out well in the second half. And it kind of that first 10 minutes, they changed some things and we were starting to look like we're going to allow them back into the game. And then Leo Campana scores that goal, like you said. And I agree. I think Cartagena, he kind of fell back a little bit. He could just stand up a little bit straighter and he might have even stopped that from happening, but he was off in the wrong position. So basically, after that goal, what happened was Oscar went ahead and made changes. And those changes then completely flipped the game back in our favor. And that's when we saw as soon as Ojeda came on, we saw the Cara flick to him
Boom.
to get the
Yeah.
Ojeda goal, which Oscar literally said, like, I put him on to do that. So there's evidence in this game that Oscar made smart tactical decisions and that played out to affect the game to us to win the game. When other times I've been a little bit more critical of Oscar because he's been the guy to react second. This time he was the manager to react first, and he changed the game in that moment, and we went ahead to win 3-1. And really, after that change was made, they didn't have an answer. Like, they were just done. So we gave them about 10 minutes at the beginning of that first half where they kind of came back into it and they got that goal. And then that change happened and we just shut them down. So I think, big kudos to Oscar on that. And I was really impressed with the effectiveness of our subs in this game.
Sure. Let's read some comments here. It says Joshua Tall. Hold on, let me get it better here. I was so happy we played great versus Inter Miami, and it was so nice to see Cara score again, and it was nice to see Ojeda score again. Santos' goal was amazing. Thank you, Joshua. Appreciate it. Big time win, baby. Daniel Phillips, thank you, sir. Says the official watch party was great. Hats off to the club. There you go. That's fantastic. It's also nice and interesting and cool. How could we be in fourth place if we win and DC United and Philadelphia lose? Yes, big time win. This is Joshua Tall. Yeah, how things could change is part of a circle. I'm just saying, this trying to be funny. Francis Wilson, I second what Daniel said. Watch party was fantastic. Listen, I don't care if we're coached by Ronald McDonald, our starting striker is Grimace, and our strength and condition is a Hamburglar. I just want to win. No, that's true. And to me, man, like, I feel the same way. I just want to win. I don't care if it, like, look, this game coming up, my wish, it's just my personal wish. I wish for it to be a sold out stadium, right? Everybody cheering, right? Having a good time. And then Orlando, even if he scores in the 85th minute, 1-0 win, bro. Like, that to me, as long as we see ourselves where we need to be, third, fourth, or fifth, like, I'm fine, man. I'm happy. Jim D, the Miami meltdown is amazing. I'm so glad the roles were in reversed. The fan base will be circling the drain right now. That's right. The hunker down. Kara, Jeffrey O, great show. How do you guys feel with the idea that Oscar is out by the end of the season? Well, right? I mean, that's the only thing I can say.
It's a long season, right? So,
Yeah, so
again, and like, also I want to say that it was just one win, and we haven't been in great form recently. So,
right, we're
and
inconsistent.
I said
We're
on Twitter that it
still
reminded me of the LA game, and not to bring us down in any way, but Miami really didn't test us much. Like, they really didn't do much. They had
they were bad.
0.26 XG for the whole game, which basically means they had 20% of maybe 1 XG.
Yeah.
So they didn't do anything, and they didn't really, like, the way that Atlanta's going to attack us with their threats. It's going to be a whole different problem.
It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, I think defensively, there's still a lot of questions that this game didn't answer for me personally.
Yeah, I just feel like, for example, like, sorry to Ivan Angulo, for example, he was a very inactive part of the attack against Miami. I just think that he's been playing fantastic, but I just feel sometimes his turnover rate's a little crazy, right? And when you have, I mean, Miami wasn't really much of a test to him, and I think he's gonna get definitely way more defensively tested against Atlanta. And I think we cannot afford those turnovers against a team like Atlanta with a guy like Thiago Almada that can punish you in a 1-2-3. So We definitely need to take this win. Definitely be very proud and happy, and just keep being positive for what the next game's coming about, right? I mean, we ain't perfect. I think Orlando ain't perfect, but I think we're definitely making the right changes for the better, hopefully. So, Jim D, if we can walk together, why can't we rock together? Like the song from 7 Seconds. There you go. The traveling support looked and sounded great too. Yeah, I want to say, I mean, what? Look, Inter Miami treated the press phenomenal. I want to give kudos to Inter Miami on that. Uh, but I don't know if the fans were very pleased. I know that I heard a lot of, you know, some people from Vice City trying to go look for issues over there. The usual stuff. Um, and also the whole speaker situation, right? And I want to give kudos to Franco Panizo, he's who broke down the news. Um, I mean that just makes you look kind of bad, right? I mean, I think they wanted to sound like the Camp Now or the Camp No, but honestly, it didn't really work on their favor. I mean, and people started leaving too as soon as Orlando scored the third. Like they were already,
We were singing to them.
yeah, like they were leaving. And guys, like that just makes you look just horrible, man.
There was the chant. There was like, you got to beat traffic. I was like, that's
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
like na 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 na, everybody they were looking at us, and I was like, "Bye, bye, bye." It was awesome, but the
Yeah.
speaker situation horrible, like horrible.
That just does a disservice to the fan base of Inter Miami. I mean, La Familia, they were chanting 90 minutes, but I mean, you're kind of telling them, are you really loud enough? In a subtle way, right? Because you're putting speakers. Doesn't make any sense. Plus, the stadium is in an industrial area, guys. Like, there's nothing around. I can go and take my car to be fixed there. And there's like 5 auto mechanic shops there. I can take my car, my if I have a boat, but there's nothing around there. There's like absolutely nothing. So
And I don't know, but the way that it sounded in my area, it was like an echo. So it was super, super bad. They were singing
oh
something else,
wow.
and we were hearing something else. And I was like,
Oof.
what the
No
heck
And
we
mames.
are hearing here? Like, shut them up.
on
But
the
yeah.
broadcast, it sounds like way too whole, if that makes sense. Like
Oh, okay.
usually you can directionally hear like,
Yeah,
okay, they're
yeah,
over on this side of the stadium. You can literally hear it like coming from the whole stadium. So it's like, I personally think the MLS should ban that.
yeah,
I think it's disgraceful. I don't think you should be allowed to do it. I put it
yeah.
up there with having, not real grass pitch and playing on a, baseball stadium as things that MLS should get out of this league because they don't belong here. And I think it's an embarrassment, really.
Well,
It
and
is. And
then
Miami they should be embarrassed, and their fans should be embarrassed. And it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, and then Miami fans are upset too, because of the form of their team, and they lost against the main rival, which is Orlando City, obviously. And they actually were very, in a way, online, and also people that came up to me, colleagues, saying, "Hey, you won. It was a great game. Like, congratulations. Take the win out of here. You deserve it," type of thing, right? Let's do some more comments. Jeffrey O. Also, Firmino to Orlando, please no. Bobby Firmino to Orlando, please. Why can't he go to Inter Miami, for
We don't
example?
have a DP spot. We can't. There's
Right.
no money
Yeah.
we can't. We have one slot and very little money in the budget. So
Right.
if anything, it's going on a defender.
One thing though is Miami has that Bad Bunny, man. Like, on like that music needs to be played more.
Something,
Uh,
something that I'm gonna give kudos to Miami is just the
yeah.
DJ. It was on
Yeah, the
point. I
DJ
was
was on
dancing.
point. Yeah. It wasn't like Aqua or
No,
like
no, I
I
was
Boston.
mean, they
rocking
know
my
how to throw a
Orlando
good
City
party,
flag.
but they
Like,
don't know how to score.
Yeah. The hunker down. Kara, 8 matches, 4 goals, 2 assists. Duncan, 10 matches, 4 goals, 2 assists. Yeah. I mean, the production, it's there. I feel like the subs also worked. Like Martin, Rodrigo was actually good also. Duncan, Mauricio. Mauricio, to me, he came in with a fire. in his eyes, and it was good to see.
It's easier for him to run the game when everybody's
Correct.
tired, you know,
Yeah.
because then he comes in with fresh legs. Like, I know that sounds really harsh, but it's like at his
No, but
age,
it's the
like he
truth.
comes in with fresh legs at the 60th minute. He's able to be way more effective than he is from the start because everyone else is tired and he's able to keep up a bit better, right? Like it makes, yeah, it sounds bad, but it's true. Like he is more effective coming off the bench, I believe, and I think you guys agree that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm in that picture. Look for me. Look for me.
Where are you?
And well, it's in the bucket hat. The bucket. Oh, you're
Oh
no,
yeah, right
that's
here, right
Alec. That's me.
here,
There you go.
right
There you
here.
go.
Where's Waldo? Hold
Where's
on.
Waldo?
Where? Hold on. Oh, right there. Look, right
You can see
there.
her little face poking out. Oh,
Oh, look
bless.
at that! Look at that! Wow. No, that's great. These are best OC podcast by far, Alec. How do you doing, Alec? There you go. I think he's a
He's
little.
still in Fort Lauderdale.
No way.
Yeah, he's working over there. So yeah.
He's hanging out with with a Vice City, with Vice
Oh, in
City.
Vice City, he's probably painting
Wow.
the tifos over there. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Well,
kidding. He's
another
not. He's not.
another thing I wanted to say was definitely fans in Miami are not happy, and also, the coach, was a little upset with media, right, with some of the questioning, and to Franco too. He kind of cursed and got frustrated. People are calling out for the head of their coach as well. So,
I mean, there's also the recycled tifo. Like,
yeah,
the list is endless. The
The
Miami are
yeah.
speakers,
just
the tifos. Bleh.
they're a clown show down there. They're a
But
joke.
but
Laughing at you, Miami.
this is the difference, guys. And I guess this is something that Orlando needs to take a big pride, super proudful of this. Orlando was built. Orlando City was built. It was not like somebody went and bought the franchise. Like we Orlando had a crowd and a fan base before MLS. Now that it transitioned to MLS, you look at the examples of how big the culture has grown in Orlando when it comes to soccer. Like it's serious to the point that there's opposite views that happens in the best of families, right? So they don't have that in Miami because Miami is so brand new. So the MLS is just, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. They're telling them what to do, and so it just doesn't look organic. That's what I'm
You
trying
know
to say.
what's funny, Luis, is I remember when we were applying to get the MLS franchise, and there's a whole list of things you had to have. One of
Mhm.
which was a soccer civic stadium. New York, looking at you. And then the other things that they had on that list, one of the main ones was you had to prove that you had a soccer fan base. Like there was enough interest in your market
Right.
to be able to get people, right? And the way that Orlando City did that was already by having a USL team and showing like 10,000 people a week, right? At a minor league soccer, that we could get that many people out. And then you get franchises like Miami who never had to do that. So I would be interested, it's like they changed the rules a lot, and now like none of those really apply. Like they just San Diego, like they did
Yeah,
have a
that's
minor
another
league
thing.
team, like they're doing okay, but they don't really have all these stipulations on a franchise because they now believe that wherever they go, it's just going to be successful. But when we joined the league, there was a whole wariness of like, will it work in this market? Hence why we had to kind of do a lot of things that nowadays these franchises don't have to do.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I totally agree with you. Like even Austin looks more organic, even though they're brand new, but it just looks more organic
Like
than.
Cincy is totally example
Yeah,
of like a great built team,
yeah.
worked their way up, went into the major. Like that's what it should look like. And I think some of these franchises they want the market, so they don't necessarily need a team there before. They're just say it's a big market, it'll work. Let's do a team.
That's right. And then we're gonna talk about this goal right here. I mean, I'm gonna say this. I mean, Like Bertman used to say, put some respect on his name. Put some respect on his name. There you go. Urgent Kara, man, with the back hit flip, dude. Like, I was like, what is he doing? He was like, "Bah," like, it was phenomenal.
You should have seen us in the stands, and
Yeah.
we were like, "That went in, that went in," and I was
Yeah.
recording. I have the recording of the goal because I was just recording. Oh, let me record, blah blah blah. And when I saw that ball in the back of the net, we were like, "What?" And we were just jumping around. So it was a cool goal to see in our side.
His awareness of the pitch, like he already knew if he was gonna do that, he was gonna score. Like that to me is impressive. I don't know, John.
So it's funny because I sent on Twitter, I put Arujo and take some tips from the king of the long throw, and I sent him a video, well, just out there on Twitter, a video of Rory Delap, who is a famous Stoke player who early 2000s when we were in the Premier League, he had this long throw that he would do that was killer, and it's like a long flat bullet. And that's what it is with this. Basically, because you could throw it directly into the box, it's even more accurate than a corner. So when you're able to do it effectively like this, you're basically putting the ball directly on Carr's head, and all he has to do is redirect it into the goal with a little flick, right? And also you have to hope that the Inter Miami defenders don't mark him, because 3 of them around him and none of them mark him. So there's a little bit of luck there, but it's the way you throw it. Like if it's really arching, looping ball, there's so much time that's in the air that the defenders can get up and head it away. So it has to be quite like fast and flat. And this one was perfect, and Carr just with a little knock, and it was great. You don't see it very often, and it's cool. And we haven't been very good at them so far. Like they really have not been hitting until this one. So
and
they tried another one later in the game, and that didn't really work. So
yeah,
it's not going to be 100% effective every time, but when it does work, it's very.
I will
effective.
take it when it works. It's working.
And not only that, this was in the best when Calendar was having his best performances, and that completely sunk him down mentally. You see what I'm saying? What can one goal do to you? Right? Especially a backflip. It demoralized the whole entire team at that point. They didn't came back to the point that Kamal Miller was having a bad game. Like, and typically Kamal Miller, World Cup, Canada national team, Orlando City, pretty solid player, but it wasn't his night. Great throw, I will say. Then that was not the only genius of Kara, because then we saw the assist he gave, that little flick to Tincho Ojeda for the goal. I mean, that was great. And, that tells you a player like Ojeda on that 1v1, he was not going to miss. I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to get probably a lot of slack, but if you would have given it to, let's say, a former Orlando City players that are no longer in the team, probably they would have missed this chance.
Probably. Are you gonna say names? I'm just kidding. Don't say names.
I'm just saying because I mean it was a lot of quality. I mean, you could botch that 1v1 against Calendar, but I think Tincho had the vision. And he already is like, I'm 1v1 against this dude. I have to score.
He set himself up really nicely with that little touch first. Like he just pushed it out where he wanted it, and then he knew that he was just going to be able to left foot it round the guy as he came out towards him. It was a very calm and collected finish, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna see if I think I took a picture. No, that didn't work. But yeah, it was a very good finish. Let's read some comments. The hunker down, say it, Kara, give the men respect. No, that's completely right. And then, what do you think about the third goal?
Massive. It was not massive. I don't know.
Do you see a turnaround? Do you see a turnaround for Santos, Paola?
I think this gonna be more like a boost for him. And I don't see him as a defender though. Like I don't know if he's a defender, but he's playing in the wrong position. I can see him more I don't know, in the midfield, or a winger. He has some good passes, crosses to the box, but sometimes he falls asleep defending. So that's why I'm like, what's going on? And then he put that cherry on top with that score at the end. So probably this is gonna boost his morale, and he, like, the dude is the first time here in MLS. He's trying to figure it out and all that stuff. But let's see if this goal is a booster for him, hopefully. And he can see videos and he can rewatch himself. Hey, I commit this error. I cannot commit it for the next game. So the big question is if he's going to start to Atlanta, if it's a Poppy special, we're gonna see the same formation. And I know that we're gonna talk about this in a minute, but hopefully this is going to boost his morale for the upcoming games.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, bad defending by Inter Miami right there. And it was just a good. I said it was a good shot. I mean, he went for it, and I'm glad that he went in. He scored the dagger, and that completely changed the game. I mean, at that point, it was all Orlando. Orlando could have maybe gone up one more goal if needed be. They had a couple of more chances too, but I mean, at that point, it was over. And when he scored that, everyone started leaving the stadium. Like everyone started leaving the stadium,
and it was super bad.
Yeah,
like it's not like Orlando. You see 2 or 3 families. No, like fire drill.
The 80th minute
Yep.
exodus.
I'll be honest with you. I feel like, I mean, Orlando right now is going to have a huge. Gaston Gonzalez not being fit, it's hopefully it doesn't affect us a lot because he was just starting to get solid, man, and that's a big blow. But and look, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to Santos, but I don't know if he's the left back we need against Atlanta.
Well, like I said, I think in this one we didn't really see him get tested too much. I
Right.
think I did see a few times he like made the right call. He went up for the tackle. Like positionally, I think he was a little better than we've seen him, and did a few more things defensively better. And obviously, I've never had an issue with him going forward. I think offensively, that's what Paulo was saying. Like I think he's like a left wing back who's very good as like a more winger than a defender, and we're kind of teaching him how to be more of a left back. And I think as long as he keeps growing and learning, then there is a future for him. But like I've been pretty critical of him up to now, mainly because he has, made some defensive errors, and we've not really been super convinced from what we've seen up until this game. I think this was the best performance we've seen out of him, and great positional awareness. Duncan's pass here for this goal is just so intelligent for a guy of his age.
Yeah,
to realize, okay, I'm
hold
back
the ball
to
up.
Goal.
Right.
I'm back to goal here. I can't do anything. Like, other strikers might try and turn around or might, try and whip a shot backwards. Like he has the knowledge and the understanding to look for whoever's coming in. And Santos was making the perfect run and a great layoff. And like you said, a really good shot into that bottom corner. So I was happy for him. You could see on his face as well that he really, like Paulo said, he needed that. And hopefully he continues to grow and get better. But it would be interesting to see when Petrasso comes back, right? I still think Petrasso is probably favored over him in that position. So he's still got a lot to do to claim what should really be his first team spot. Well, we thought it would be his spot at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I feel like Petrasso should probably start. That's just my opinion. He's I think defensively we need to be a little bit better against Atlanta. We need to really, I mean, if there's how do I say this? If we have to park the bus, like if we're winning 1-0 and it's minute 85, like park the bus, man. You know what I mean? Like at that point, and you need to be defensively sound. So, I mean, I think the key for Orlando City has been being defensively sound first, especially the center back duo, and then everything fall into place because everybody play way more free. Then also Inter Miami, every transition play they'll lose the ball in the mid.
I mean, they have no mid, like partly because they're injuries, but also they
Gregor
just don't really have a mid.
Mota's gone. Yeah, so they have no mid. So now Atlanta's a different beast, and we're gonna be talking about that. Thank you so much. Let's read some more comments. The third goal, the hunker down, was a great team goal. I agree. Joshua Tall, I agree with you, but Gaston, about Gaston, and it's very unfortunate. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is sad.
The
But
big worry for him is it the same injury? Because like the look on his face was like he knew exactly what had happened. Like he to me he looked like, oh no, like it's.
Hopefully not. He
And if
was
it
grabbing
is,
his
then that
neck.
could become an issue, like a recurring thing. Like this is what
Yeah.
happens with players. Like you do it once and then again, and so hopefully it's a different thing from what he was out with his, what was it, ACL or something, that he was out for a whole year.
Yeah, yeah, it was an ACL. Yeah,
So this looks more like his hammy or something.
it was his hammy. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not the same issue and he's quicker to recover.
And it brings us to the games against Atlanta. Now, before I dive into that, let's look at the standings for the MLS. Wait, I hate when they do that. You know, here you go. Thank you, Google, for being so friendly with this. There you go. So look at Cincy, man. Remember, like a year or two ago, people were like, "Oh, Cincinnati, bottom of the table," and then look at Cincinnati, man, playing amazingly. Nashville.
I think they're an example of Luis that it can be done, right?
Yeah,
like
it can.
I don't think anybody who's saying like, oh, he's gonna slowly will get higher and up was like, no, it's not that hard in MLS to do really well. Like, look at what they've done in 2 years. We could do that.
And with the beauty about this 1-3 win of Orlando City against Miami is our goal differential is in 0. So hopefully we could raise that up against Atlanta. It's going to be a tough matchup, but if Orlando beats Atlanta and then Philly and DC lose, Orlando can stay between 4th and 5th place. Which is, I think it's great. That's the unpredictability of the East, right? Now, if Orlando loses against Atlanta and Columbus and Charlotte win, then we're out of playoff contention again, right? Yeah, you want to say something, John?
No, I just think it's really tight in the East, and
really
just as much as we could go up, we could go down. So
right.
I don't like to be the bummer. It's like, oh, you're so like down sometimes. I'm like, no, I'm not down. I'm just realistic, right? And I think that this season we've seen so many ups and downs, and I really hope that we can put a few wins together, but it hasn't been the case so far. So let's continue with the wins before we think about where we might be in the table. I think it's at this point to me, where we are in the table is not as important as seeing consistency on the field, like consistent results.
Yep. And then Paul, we're facing Atlanta. They faced Chicago. They tied 3-3 in a very thriller game with an own goal by one of their center backs. What are your expectations out of this game against Atlanta?
We're gonna see blood on that midfield. Thiago Almada against Cesar Araujo probably, or Wilder is gonna be that 1v1 trying to stop him. And like you said, Araujo is not gonna play against us, so that's one of their strongest, not strong player, but it's an okay player for the squad. So we have to take that as an advantage and move that ball quickly to score the goal. I have a theory that we need to score first in the first 15 minutes. Against Miami, it wasn't in the 15-minute, but it was a little bit later. And we got luck and we capitalized with 3 goals. So we need to see the same consistency that we saw in Miami, but a little bit of more defending in our wings and in our left back and right back, because it's a different beast, like you guys said in the beginning of the pod. So hopefully Kara is still being Kara, on fire, and Ojeda as well. So let's see what's going to happen. But I think Thiago Almada is going to be shut down by Cesar Araujo on Saturday.
True, and I will say this when it comes to Gonzalo Pineda. No, he's not related to me. I'm just gonna say this. I'm just
It's
kidding.
not your uncle?
No, it's not my uncle, man.
Oh.
And they want to fire him too,
And
man.
Mauricio Pineda, if he plays
Yeah,
for Chicago, he's your cousin, right?
It's your cousin,
yeah,
right?
man. They want to fire
No.
him. They want to fire him too. Fire everyone, man. You know, I'm telling you. Gee. But what I was gonna say was, look, I know for a fact the team is gonna concentrate in Thiago Almada, and I think we should not be so sidetracked on Thiago Almada. I think if we make this a game that we're only gonna mark Thiago Almada, we're gonna leave so many gaps, and they have players that can capitalize. And I will say, we are in a way lucky, and I'm gonna say this blatantly, lucky that Luis Araujo is not gonna play this game because this guy was the partner in crime in transition attack for Thiago Almada. Thiago Almada will always look to his right, try to look for Luis Araujo. Now he's not going to be there. So who's going to have now the thread? It's going to be on the left side. It's going to be Derek Etienne. Derek Etienne is going to have the ball more now on the left wing. So who's going to be guarding that left wing? Angulo. Also, we could see Kyle Smith.
Smith,
right?
yeah.
Right. So that's something we need to be a little bit concerned, and we need to make sure that we stick to having somebody checking Etienne out and making sure that he's not, that we're recuperating the ball and we capitalizing. Now, when it comes to me, the center back duo, it's wonky. Purata just come from scoring, even though he played in Tigres. He comes from Tigres. A big team in Mexico. He just scored an own goal. He's also a center back that has scored in Orlando many times. So offset pieces, Purata is very good. Now I've seen play Luis Abram. It seems that Luis Abram might be the other center back playing, because Miles Robinson lately has been coming as a sub, right?
I think he's been coming back from injury, so
Right.
he might be ready to start against
Right.
us. Who knows?
So let's see. But if it's Luis Abram, it's not good guarding the long ball. I'm telling you this right now. So if we try, if Robin Jensen tries those long shots, and it's Purata is like somewhere with maybe Ronald Hernandez, and then there's a gap, and then Facundo Scarin, and Abram is your only center back right there, you can bet Orlando will score a goal right there. Abram is a little wonky and not too good at guarding the long shot, even though he should. Another thing with Abram is you put a little bit of pressure on him and he loses the ball. That's one of the reasons that he's no longer in Cruz Azul. A lot of the turnovers occurred because of issues of him passing the ball, to turning over the ball constantly, and then the other team scoring. Really bad defensive mistakes. Brought him into the MLS, and Atlanta signed him. So, but one thing that, and I don't know what you think, John, about this, but the left back position and the right back position for Atlanta, they've been doing really, really, really well. And that's where a lot of their soccer is coming from, with Andrew Gutman, right, who scored a goal against Chicago, and as well as Caleb Wiley, right, which is a pretty good sub. I don't know. What are your thoughts regarding Atlanta in the attack? I mean, they've been very effective.
I think you're definitely right about Thiago Almada. I think obviously he's the guy, and we could get too hung up on closing him down and then leave their other assets available to score. And they do that a lot against other teams. The other thing is you could put, Araujo, you could put two guys on Thiago Almada. He'll still find a way to get out of it and make plays. Like, you're not going to completely stop him. You're not really going to completely stop this team, in my opinion. I think our best bet is to go all out attack and try and outscore Atlanta. And that might sound kind of crazy, but I think offensively we have just as many assets as they do. I think, we've got Kara who's on fire. We've got Ojeda who's looking back in form. We've got Facu Torres. Like, let's get all three of those guys out there. Let's go 100% and attack Atlanta. I'd rather lose 4-2 than try and stop them and lose like 1-0, 2-1. You know, I just personally don't think we're able to do like a whole game of a defensive strategy against them and get the win. Right. I think we need to try and match them like for like by going all out attack and seeing if we can outscore them. Like it's happened. They've had plenty of games this season that other teams have done that. They're going to come and attack us. That's just how they play, right? So let's not act like we're the away team at home and go defensive, right? Like, you know, but I think that that's something that Oscar could be likely to do, you know, and I really hope he doesn't for this one. I think we have just as good a team attacking wise as them, and, you know, maybe even better defense than them, right? You know, you've got Pedro. If it's a tight game, he can win you a game by making some big saves. So let's not go for 90 minutes of defense. I think that's the wrong strategy.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And another thing that I'm going to add, you know, and I'm going to give Paula the mic too, is they have a pretty similar strikers on the up and up, as you say. Like that player, Georgios Giannoumakis, I think he was from
Giacomakis.
Yeah, from former Celtic player.
Celtic, yeah, he killed it.
Celtic. He killed. Player. Yeah, and he just scored a brace against Chicago. He came in as a sub. Who was their starting striker? Miguel Berry. Now, strawberry, blueberry. What kind of berry is he? No, he's just Miguel Berry. All right. Now, watch out because. I think Gonzalo Pineda, what he's going to do is he's going to try to put Eric Lopez. Now, you probably ask, who's Eric Lopez? Is it George Lopez's son? No, he's not. Eric Lopez is former Banfield player. He played against Enrique. He was his teammate in Banfield.
Played with Enrique.
Yeah, played with Enrique in Banfield for 2 seasons with him. So we may see Barry not having a lot of minutes, maybe not any minutes at all, because, and I think Oscar needs to listen to this. That's what's probably, if you're gonna put Oscar Enrique as a 9, it ain't not gonna work because they know how to stop. I mean, Eric Lopez, they used to play Eric as a 9 and Enrique was the second striker in Banfield. So he knows exactly how Enrique plays. So, and I think Pineda might be using that against Orlando tactic-wise. But Georgios Giannoumakis is as hot as Urgent right now. I mean, so it would be great to see. And again, you know, I think our back four need to be on point. That's why I'm saying, you know, Rafael Santos, are they going to probably leave him because he just scored? Or they're going to maybe try to do more of a defensive, you know, you know what I mean?
We should do the lineup because I got other questions as well.
That's right. Yeah, sure.
Like, you know, Gaston is out, right? So he's been starting, which means there's a spot there. Someone's got to do some moving around.
I think Angulo is going to play that position.
I think you're right, too.
Yeah, but more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, I think left back is interesting. I do think Smith will go there, but then who's playing right back? Because we still not got Mikey.
When Mikey's coming back?
Not for a while. He's at the U20 World Cup. Let the man enjoy his World Cup.
I know.
I know we need him. We need him desperately.
That's stubborn.
You know. I mean, I was sad when he didn't get called up, so I'm glad that he did.
I would put secondary. Freeman, man. I would put Freeman. They call me crazy, but I will give Freeman.
With you, Luis.
I will like. It's time.
Maybe not this game though. This is a hard.
Yeah, I mean,
game
this is a very. Yeah.
You should put him in for last game. You know.
Yeah, like he would.
Hey. Oh, go ahead, Luis. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Paula. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say the first game that Holiday played, it was a rough game. It was against Red Bull. Do you remember that game?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
You never know.
That was a hot.
You never know.
That was a hot potato.
It was a hot potato. It was a mess. Well, it was the first game of the kid, but I don't see it coming because we're trying to win more consistently. So I don't mind Freeman, but what other options do we got? I think zero, right?
I mean, we got Kyle and we got Rafael Santos, right? That's what
I
I'm
think he's
saying.
gonna be with the
So,
same.
so do you
I-
think Oscar's going to repeat the lineup?
I think there's a very strong possibility you're going to see Schlegel playing a fullback position,
Ugh.
which
So
I'm not
they're gonna,
for. But I think I would rather Oscar brought like Salim in and let Antonio Carlos play right back or something, or
no, dude. Antonio
I would still
Carlos is
rather
not-
play
He's too tall
Santos
though for that position.
and Santos and Smith again. Why not?
I think that's what's going to happen.
That's what's gonna happen. He's not gonna touch it.
I think if you want to play Smith left back, who are you going to play at right back, right? So you kind of have to play Smith at right back, which means then you
and he didn't
sort
do
of
that.
have to play Santos unless Petrasso is ready. In which
Yeah.
case, then Smith right back and Petrasso left back.
And then I think the mid we're not gonna change. I think these three. I think is gonna be Araujo, which Araujo also that ref too with the yellow cards, man. That ref is.
Well, he got one retroactively, right, for the simulation.
Oh, no more simulations for you, Araujo. Come on, man. Come on, man. We don't need that.
He's gone to the Neymar school of simulation.
I know. And then we have Facu right here. Right. And I mean, now you will see Gonzalez, right?
Well, no,
and
we
you
won't
would
see Gonzalez.
No, we won't see Gonzalez. The thing we're gonna see is Ojeda and Angulo.
Yeah, I think
that's
you're right.
What we're gonna see.
I think what you could do though is Ojeda right wing and Enrique left wing.
You're crazy to see that, and I'm too.
Yeah,
John.
but I mean, you
It's so many attackers on the field. Like there's
I
very
know.
little.
I don't really.
There's very
think,
little defense going on in that front four if we did that.
But I think I could see Enrique as a sub in the second half. I don't know if I see him as a starter.
Can Duncan Maguire play left wing? Do we want to teach him how to be a left winger?
This guy. So we'll see what Angulo, right, and then Ojeda, or are you guys going for Enrique for real?
Nah, I'm just throwing ideas out at
No,
you.
'cause
It's gonna be Angulo left wing.
We want to see a
Ojeda will
prediction
get
come to life.
back in. He's been on the bench, but he's earned it back now because he got a goal. So he'll get the start, which means Angulo goes to that left. Angulo is the ultimate utility player, right? Like,
Yeah.
the guy just gets moved around wherever we need him, and he still gets the start wherever, whether it's
He's-
right back or left wing. He's on the field.
Yeah, he's a Benji Michel, but with I don't know. I remember Benji trying to go in transition. He would lose the ball like right in the.
I was gonna say that more controllable.
He's more. He has a little bit more dribbling on the 1v1.
He's just got to pick his head up, though.
Yeah.
It's that he makes 3 or 4 good moves.
Yeah.
And then he's going for like 5, 6,
Exactly.
7. And it's like,
he's trying to do the Messi.
Just stop where you are and
Yeah.
look up and make a pass or take a shot. Like, you don't need to run the ball all the way into the goal.
Yeah, he over dribbled the ball plenty of times against Miami too, and then
threw out 2 balls.
Yeah. And again, guys, shoot the ball, man. Like that's another thing I want to say. Like shoot the ball, like from distance. Like I don't know what.
But don't be Ojeda though.
Yeah, but shoot the ball from distance, man. Like,
Don't shoot every time you get the ball.
Yeah,
Exactly. Every time that Ojeda is like boom, I'm like, what are you doing? Just stop. I want to see a goal from one of those crazy decision that he made, but sometimes it's like, bro, chill out. It's gonna come, but not in this game.
And then another thing that, and I'm gonna say this, another thing that I think it needs to improve defensively in a way was Atlanta is gonna pressure you more than Inter did, and so with that being said, this whole short passing in Galesa's box, it ain't working for me, bro, because now you're having Thiago Almada, you're having Etienne, you're having that guy Yakumakis from Celtic. Like you're talking about better players than Miami. And so what if they they turn over the ball right there? Galizia's 1v1 against Almada. Do you think Almada's gonna miss? Come on, man.
It's something
Right.
you have to be careful. Like when you're
Right.
trying to play that possession system, is like if it happens to you once or twice, the coach needs to be smart enough to say, okay, just kick it away because they're pressing us and we're not able to get out. Like I think if you're going to do it as well, Luis, it makes more sense to Galese to pass it directly to Arujo and Cartagena and just bypass the center backs. And that way, if something goes wrong, they're still there in position. There's ways to do it that are more intelligent than what we've done. The other thing I want to say about Arujo and Cartagena in the midfield is that they're both quite deep a lot of the time, and Facu's very high up the field. And so in the actual like center of midfield, we often have a lot of space. So I think more likely it is that Cartagena needs to be stepping up a little bit more, like getting a little bit further up the field and making challenges on guys before they get too far into our side of the field. Arujo is kind of sitting a little bit deeper, but right now they're both sitting deeper. And if you notice, like people are running in and no one's going to close them down. So I think one of them has to kind of go forward a little bit more and be more of that box to box guy. And one of them has to be more of the defensive midfielder.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And I do want to say that what Jensen was doing against Miami, I don't know if you noticed, but he would just like completely kick the ball out of the box, just throw it anywhere. Like that's sometimes what you got to do. Just do the simple thing, right? You're there to defend. If you have to just kick the ball to the other side, just kick it, man. Like rather get it out of the box.
Yeah, if in danger, just get rid.
Just get rid of the ball, man. Just get rid of the ball and have them have a long throw, whatever. But it's just get it out of the box. Don't keep passing it. And then, I mean, you don't have your starting wingers, so I mean your wing backs or your left backs and your right backs. So I think this is how Orlando is going to line up against Atlanta. Galese, Smith, Antonio Carlos. I think there's a comment here. It says, "I thought AC was suspended next game."
Nope, he's not.
No, he's not.
He has 3 yellow cards so far. So
okay. So
the one that I have the numbers here, but the one that has 4 yellow cards, just guess who it is.
Araujo.
No.
Cartagena.
Smith.
Oh, Kyle Smith. Ooh.
Kyle Smith has 4 yellow cards.
Come on, Alex Freeman. Come on, Mo.
Those are probably old professional fouls, Like he only gives away a yellow when he's been beat, and he's just like, okay, I'm gonna take you out.
I got it ready.
Yellow. Yeah.
I got it ready.
Cartagena and Araujo has 3 yellow cards, both of them.
Give the men a chance.
I think come off the bench for Smith, right? Well, at least because we don't really have any replacements. So if our fullbacks are tired and they're like Kyle Smith's played a lot of minutes covering both left and right back. So I think he could come off and we could bring on Alex Freeman for 30 minutes or so, right?
Yeah.
Or if not 10 minutes, like just give him a little bit more time.
He already played 30 seconds, so why not?
Yeah, and not only that, he has if let's say there's a set piece, he's good at scoring in those opportunities. He's done it at OCB. Like he also has a shot from distance. So these are little things that it would be cool to see.
I can see him scoring goals like the one Santos scored. That's the kind of positions he gets.
Exactly. In. Yeah, that's what he was doing at OCB. So let's read some more comments. Hunker down. He says, "Cara, Angulo, Ojeda, Facundo, Cesar, Cartagena, Jensen, Antonio Carlos, Smith, Santos, and Galese." There you go. More comments. What a match. Vamos, Ryan Jensen. I want to say hello to my friend Ryan Jensen. Thank you, my friend. Joshua Tall. I want Galese to kick it deep most times too. Yeah, that's right. Galese loves to play with somebody, right? That's another thing that I noticed too. And he tried to kick it long a bunch of times too. So now let's talk about this right here before we close too. And I want to thank everyone for being live with us. There you go. Team of the week, man. Arjun Cara right here. All right. And right here, Oscar Pareja, Orlando. right? What are your thoughts? I think it's well deserved, right? Well deserved.
Yeah,
And
it
this
made
this will be good for Kara to continue his, his momentum. This is fuel to him. So kudos to Kara. Own more goals on Saturday. We want to see it in our stadium. I want to see a hat trick. That's all.
That's right. What about you, John?
it made me think about our preseason predictions, and that I picked him to be our leading goal scorer this season at the beginning of the season, and really like he wasn't, his start to the this season hasn't wasn't really great. He had some injuries, there was some issues, and then he got the goal at Tigres, and ever since then he's been like slowly getting more and more minutes, more and more time, and now he's looking like the car that we expect to see, right? So I'm all about it. Let's hope he can get 15, 20 goals this year. Let's keep giving him those balls in the box, right? Like we're getting really good at understanding where Carr is going to be and finding him in the box. And if we do that, 9 times out of 10 he scores. So I'm all about it.
That's right. And then Oscar Pareja, right, coach of the match day, right? I think the subs were on point. And we spoke to Oscar in the press conference in Fort Lauderdale, and then he did said he addressed. He's like, I am good with criticism. you know, uh, he said, I'm really good with criticism. I think criticism fuels us to be better, and I want to thank the fandom for doing that. So he was very civil about that kind of stuff. So definitely the substitutions were on point, and it definitely changed the pace of the game, in my opinion. So I'm happy for him, and I think it puts kind of like you go to the kind of like you go to the park, and you're super hot, and then you buy that cool towel, that that just refreshes you. It's kind of like cools you down a little bit. Think this is the cooling towel, right? The cooling towel for the fandom a little bit, right? Let's hope that it doesn't get warm again. Let's just hope that it keeps, everything going well. I think a win against Atlanta will be huge. Right, Paola? What are your thoughts regarding Oscar being the manager of the match day?
It's like if Kara is helping him see himself in the week of the team of the week, is the same for Oscar Pareja. Like, this is a momentum that he's like, not, he shouldn't be relaxed. He should have been, okay, things are working. Let me continue the consistency with the team. Let me, this is fuel for him. So, and I'm glad when I saw that Oscar Pareja was the coach of the week. I'm like, I think he figured this team out. I don't want to jinx it, because the same thing I said it in against LA Galaxy, and I don't want to say it again, but I think Oscar is figuring out who to sub in, what time, who is their strength, who is their weaknesses at the time of the game. So kudos to Oscar. I know that his position, I don't want to be a coach. Like, it's hard. It's hard to be a coach, and I think this award, it has been in the right moment for him, because I think he deserves it, and I think this will be fuel to his future games.
That's right. I want to also end by congratulating El Profe Oscar. I think he well deserved coach of the match day,
I
right?
think he had Phil Neville's number. And I
Yeah.
think that was the really, like, other times in the season, like, he kind of got a little bit out coached by Rooney a little bit there in the DC game. And this one, it was nice to see Oscar winning that battle. We talk about there's a battle going on between these coaches. In fact, at one point, they were shouting at each other on the sideline. So
Yeah.
he was like actually getting riled up for this one. And, I think he deserves the credit, because it was a tactical masterclass at times from him. The way that he brought those subs on to win us the game was really impressive.
Yeah. Kudos to Coach Pareja. Always very, very kind to everyone at the press box, and super down to answer any questions. So kudos for him. He thanked the fans in the post press conference. You can see the footage right on our YouTube channel. But let's talk about some more wins, right? Pride. I mean, talking about the Pride, man. 2-1 win against Washington. With Marta first goal and first assist of the year. That's a huge penalty. Like, I mean, that's bad defending in my opinion. I mean, but anyways, there you go. Marta with a goal. Marta with a score right there. Everybody was super happy for her. Also, she had the assist from a corner kick. This team, it's definitely improving game after game. And, I just would love to see more people in the stands, be honest with you. So I encourage everyone to go support the Pride, man. I mean, it's kind of like, they played the same time as Orlando City. So it was kind of, difficult for a lot of the fandom. But, look at that almost goal by Messiah Bright right there, And then they just kept trying. I mean, a whole change of attitude from coaches Seb Hines and Giles Barnes. And then, there you go with a set piece chance by Marta right here. Look at that, man. She's still playing like she's like 24 years old, man. Look at that. Like, and then here you go. Here's a corner kick, and then off a header at the death. Kylie Strom scores. Former Atletico Madrid player, by the way, scores the winning goal. And Orlando Pride win 2-1 against Washington Spirit. So very happy for them. And it was pup night, man. Up the pups. Man, that was the best part. If you want to see all the pictures of the puppies, man, you got to go to our Instagram account. Thank you to Jay Rapper also. He took all the pictures there for Orlando Pride and Orlando City. And then that's not it, guys. We keep winning. This is like a winning fest. This is like a hug fest. This is like a love fest, man. Our youth team, the academy. Yes, the academy. They also hold on. They just sent this to me. They beat Atlanta U17 4-0 to win the division. So the OCSC Academy U17 beat Atlanta 4-0 to win the division. So just another monumental win of future Lions. And then obviously, I'm sure everyone knows this player right here, right? Hold on, let me share the screen right here real quick. He's going to be representing an Orlando City Academy product. There you go. Granados, right? He's going to be playing for Spain. Look at that. He's going to be representing Spain. That is fantastic. So one of our own players representing us in a huge stage for youth level.
I mean, getting on the Spain national team, and not playing in Spain or Europe is, I feel like, an achievement in itself. Like that is, he has been picked out, across the ocean for this, right? It's pretty cool.
Now he could still represent the United States, obviously, when he's older. But I mean, this is such a massive opportunity for him. So hopefully, he proves he excels. And I know he loves our show, so I want to say hello to him, and hopefully wish him the best of luck. En La Roja, right? La Roja, España, pues hombre, hostia. No, but I'm just going to go off, right? With my Spaniard accent. That is terrible, by the way. I cannot do the Spaniard accent, to be honest with you. It's not like a British accent in any way.
I don't think you could do that either.
My British accent is even worse. We'll never even try it. It's very bad. But congratulations, right? And so what are your scores against Atlanta? John, what do you think this is going to go? How's this going to play out?
I think it's going to be a 4-3 goal bonanza for Orlando City. Yeah, I'm crazy.
You're going to make me suffer on Saturday. Okay.
I think it's going to be one of those games. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping. Anyway, that way, both teams just attack each other, and whoever scores more wins. That's what I want to see.
I guess it's my time now. I don't want to jinx this one, but I will say 2-1.
To us, I hope.
Yeah. Two us and 1 Atlanta. What about you, Luis?
I feel like Almada or Giacomo, they're going to get one at a bare
Yeah, they're
minimum,
gonna get
right?
one.
They're
That's
going to get
why,
one,
yeah,
probably
either
two.
or.
So that's why I'm like, we
Mhm.
need to score 2 or 3 if we want to win this thing.
And remember, in the first 15 minutes, we better score, not park the bus. So just saying.
I think the Lions are gonna come out swinging. I think people are going to be, the wall's gonna be loud, right?
With no speakers.
Yeah, with no speakers, it's gonna be crazy. People eating their cholo dogs, rah, 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 right? People drinking a bunch of beers. I just think Orlando wins another 3-1 performance. Yes, call me a dreamer. Call me a dreamer.
I thought about that too, but I was like,
3-1
it's like
performance.
2-1.
Orlando win, man. If that happens, man, wow.
I think Paulo is right. We have to score first.
Yeah.
Like if we don't score first, we're always chasing the game.
Chasing the game.
If we score first, and then hopefully don't sit back and get another. That's the game.
Profe Pareja, take advantage of the set pieces. But especially if Abraham is your center back, I'm saying it as a friendly reminder. Abraham has some heavy issues. He's not a start in the Peruvian national team for a reason. We can definitely, we have the players to punish Atlanta as well. We just have not seen the consistency. And I think hopefully this win against Miami turns the attitude around. I think you could already sense it a little bit, that the attitude is changing. They're becoming more resilient. They're becoming a way that team that got the trophy, the U.S. Open Cup trophy. You start seeing a little bit more of that drive. That needs to continue. I want to be the positive person. I want to always bet to win for Orlando. So
I can see you on your name there that you are the positive one.
Yeah.
Should I change mine to the negative one?
No,
Paula,
no.
you can be
the so-so.
Just so in the middle.
The meh.
The meh.
The meh.
The meh.
The hunker down. Kara hat trick. Man, if Kara goes into a hat trick, man.
That's gonna be, and
Paula's been waiting for her hat trick. That would be it. Imagine, Paula, you're at home against Atlanta. A Kara hat trick. He doesn't have enough ears if he has a hat trick. He'd have to be like,
true.
What is he gonna? How is he gonna celebrate if he scores a hat trick?
He almost had a hat trick against Miami. If it wasn't because of the post, because of what is the goalkeeper name?
Calendar.
He stopped one, and the other one, it was a Gaston corner kick. He missed by little, so almost a hat trick or more could have been on his way against Miami. So hopefully we can see that in Atlanta, but in the back of the net, not going through to the first post or to the goalkeeper hand. So hopefully we can see a hat trick from Kara.
Kara, do not do a flip, man. Don't do a flip. We're already out without Gaston. We can afford another hurt player in attack.
You mean in the celebration or doing a chilena for a goal?
No, the celebration. You know how everyone's trying. I know Duncan does the flip, and he did actually pretty well.
Duncan has the flip, but I think Kara's too big. I want him to dance. Like, remember that celebration that he danced like this with Torres? I want to see that celebration.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I saw him dancing on the Chegu. Like Kara's in there with everybody else. I'm like, oh, Kara
he was dancing. He went to the fans and he was screaming at us like, "Let's go, vamos!" And I was like, "This is the Kara that we need going forward."
He's bought in now, right? I feel like he's starting to get in that vibe with the team, and he feels more like a part of us and less like just the striker that we have.
It says Miss Frances Wilson says the stadium will go wild if Kara scores a hat trick. Yeah, that'll be, and then yeah, money well spent with Kara, right? And then people are gonna be like, yeah, always believe in you, man. I always knew. I knew, Kara, from the moment you came. Right? It's gonna be it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Facts. This is Joshua Tall and the Hunker Down. You're welcome. But we just want everyone to have a great time, right? I think that's the whole point. Us to be united, have a fantastic time watching Orlando City play. I know for a fact that this game, just by the press conference alone, just by seeing the players on the locker room, they are motivated to take this to make this next game be a final. So they're gonna play like it's a final. So that change of attitude speaks volumes. So hopefully it works in our favor, and we're right in the top four, hopefully top five in the MLS and in the East, right? And then So what do you want to say to end the show, John?
No, Paula's playing Pokemon or something over here. I don't know what she's up to.
It wasn't my text message. That's Luis.
It was my phone that I have right next door. I didn't silence it. My apologies.
It's Louise. I thought Paula was just over here playing on her Switch. She's had enough.
No.
No, but it's the alarm.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, drop us a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys watching us live. Paula, any close remarks before we go?
Absolutely. Be there on Saturday. Scream to your team. Let's show Miami that we don't have speakers in the wall, that we have better tifos than them. And tomorrow, Tiro de Esquina podcast in my channel, Tiro de Esquina OC, content in Spanish. I put a little reel of what happened, what we did on Miami. So if you have not seen that, go to our Tiro de Esquina OC, go to our YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We post everything in there.
What about John? Any closing remarks?
No, let's just let's bring the noise and the atmosphere for Saturday. Huge game against Atlanta, and thank you everybody who came and dropped a comment today. Everybody's live with us. Thanks to everybody who listens afterwards on Spotify or wherever you're listening to, or if you watch us afterwards on YouTube, that's awesome too. Don't be afraid to come and join us live anytime and leave a comment. We're really nice, I swear. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's on Instagram at John Rollins, and on Twitter, John Rollins OCSC, for all my personal takes and silly memes and things that I post because I'm silly.
All right, guys. Well, let's have an amazing time on Saturday, and vamos Orlando. Take care, guys.
Vamos Orlando.
Have a good one.